If you're looking for the best turtle filter, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on the features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Fluval 7 Series. The 7 Series is made up from 4 high-performance canister models, with varying flow rates to accommodate tanks from 10 to 100 gallons. For the vast majority of turtle owners, one of these 4 sizes will be just a ticket, and it's the best overall performing filter we've seen at every size. Just remember to buy a size suitable for double your tank's capacity, as these filters aren't designed specifically with turtles in mind. The 7 Series goes above and beyond, boasting comprehensive chemical filtration, with 3 specialist pads to target phosphate, ammonia, and nitrite. Together, these pads work to stabilize your tank's nitrogen cycle and will prevent your turtle from being damaged by nasties that are invisible to the eye. Plus, it's the only filter review that includes a pre-filter stage. This pre-filter is a thick sheet of rippled porous biofoam that captures waste and debris before water passes through to the main filtration system. The benefit here is that your primary filter media has less work to do, so it will last longer and clog less frequently, as unclogging media is perhaps an aquarist's most dreaded maintenance task. This benefit really can't be overstated. The 7 Series truly makes maintenance simple. Each model includes an S-lift media basket that allows every media compartment to be removed simultaneously, in one movement. You can't get this wrong, and it's more time efficient than tackling each media compartment independently, as is commonplace with other canisters. Plus, you don't need to empty the water canister before changing the media, which means less chance of splashes and spills. It's constructed from robust, fiber-reinforced plastic, and the clamps and valves are ribbed and ergonomically shaped. We love this design and find it really helps prevent your hands from slipping when they inevitably get wet during water changes. Spilling dirty canister water will ruin your week, so this gets top marks on our scorecards. This robust and durable design does come at a cost though, and 7 Series models occupy the top end of the price range at each size. For a canister filter with a similar performance that's a little easier on the wallet, check out the Penn-Plaxx Cascade canister. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Fluval FX6 Canister. This filter is suitable for filtration in tanks up to a staggering 400 gallons. Only the pond boss can beat this, up to 500 gallons, and that filter is intended for ponds, not tanks. As you may expect, the canister itself is large, with a height of almost 21, so make sure you have sufficient room to house it before you part with your hard-earned dollars. In terms of filtration performance, the Fluval FX6 is the best of the bunch, and it's not particularly close. In fact, it's too powerful for tanks on the smaller end. It's made specifically for large setups, think multiple turtles or larger species, and this is the only reason it didn't pinch our top spot. Ultimately, it's just not as beginner-friendly or versatile as the Fluval 7 Series. Circular media baskets allow for a whopping 6 stacks of filter media, hence the name FX6, which will keep your tank water clean and clear, even if pooping is your aquatic friend's favorite pastime. Plus, this filter has so much space for filter media, when fully packed it's possible to go as long as months between cleans. This is practically unheard of for turtle keeping and makes it the most convenient option for those who value their time above all else. An inbuilt utility valve allows for simple canister draining and refilling, resulting in seamless, no-spill water changes. Plus, the FX6 uses smart pump technology. This means the pump automatically pauses for a brief period every 12 hours, allowing any trapped air to escape. The result is consistently maximal filtration efficiency without any manual intervention being required. No other filter includes this feature. No shortcuts were taken in construction here, and with proper care, you can expect it to last for decades. When you couple this with its outstanding filtration capability, the FX6 is the perfect choice for those looking to make a long-term investment and expecting to add more turtles or switch to a larger tank in the future. The number 3 position is held by Tetra Decorative Repto. Both the decorative waterfall feature and rock formation help to create a realistic-looking habitat and basking spot for your hard-shelled friend, and the extra tank space it needs is outweighed by the improved aesthetic. Unfortunately, we find the listed GPH is unattainable in practice. Still, as it's specifically made for reptiles, this should do the job for tanks within the product's recommendations, up to 55 gallons. Like the Tetra internal power filter, the Repto filter uses replaceable bio bags for its 3-stage filtration, which do a great job of containing the awful stench that turtle waste has a reputation for. You'll need to buy replacement bio bags occasionally, but this won't hurt your pockets enough to be a deal breaker. Plus, the filter sits at the bottom of the tank, making it suitable for use in shallow water, and you won't have to raise the water line to accommodate its use. High water lines are usually one of the biggest drawbacks of using an internal filter, and this reptifilter design sidesteps the problem entirely. Maintenance is simple, and helpful min/max levels are marked on the structure so you needn't worry about under/overfilling during water changes. Plus, the bio bags make cleaning less messy than handling traditional filter media trays. Unfortunately, we find this filter is still prone to clogging and the rock exterior quickly picks up algae and other dirt, adding time to your weekly cleaning routine. Next at number 4 we have Penn-Plaxx Cascade. This Cascade range offers high-quality canister filters for tanks from 3,200 gallons, making it the closest rival to the Fluval 7 series in terms of available sizes. The aesthetic finish isn't as sleek as with the 7 series, but this certainly shouldn't be a deal breaker, as it's likely to be stored out of sight anyway. It comes with an adjustable flow output rate, allowing you to gradually increase filtration as your turtle grows, or when you add another to the tank. Plus, the large open-style media baskets mean you can customize the filter media as you wish and need not feel constrained by awkwardly partitioned or tightly spaced filter slots. We love the use of an easy-press priming button to draw water into the input valve. By comparison, the 7 series requires a few intense pumps of manual priming to get things started after cleaning. This simple button press style is much easier than pumping a lever, especially if you plan to store the canister within a tight-fitting cabinet. The media baskets use a central handle for easy removal, but they are not quite as robust as on the 7 series. Plus, the plastic has a glossy finish that makes it more slippery when wet. We love that the input and output valves can rotate 360 degrees, so even if you're pushed for space or plan to run the tubing behind fixed cabinets or desks, you don't need to worry about awkward angling causing tubing kinks and becoming prone to splitting over time. The number 5 position is held by Pond Boss Filter Kit. This filter is for use in outdoor ponds, rather than tanks. But as so many owners like to let their turtles spend the summer days playing in a garden pond, we just had to include it in our list. Just don't rely on the 320 GPH output, as we find this flow rate a little overstated. Still, unless your pond's in GT 300 gallons, this won't have any noticeable impact. Filtration. As it's a pond filter, this product should be viewed as an additional device rather than a primary filter. But for pond use, the filtration is incredible. It uses a combination of filter media and bio balls, and we find it does a great job of keeping water crystal clear. Plus, the water spray nozzle head creates a fountain effect that doubles as a water feature for your garden. Maintenance, installation, and cleaning are remarkably simple, especially for the size. Expect to only have to attend to it every other week or so. Plus, using this as a complementary filter for an outdoor space can help reduce the maintenance time requirement of your primary tank by putting less strain on your existing filter system. Unfortunately, the pump and filter are not particularly stable and you may need to weigh them down to stop them from toppling over. We find a 2-3 rock should suffice for this purpose, and a rock bed in your pond will look great anyway. Still, for a filter north of we would like to have seen some additional weighting for improved stability. The number 6 position is dominated by Coospider Sun. This filter comes in a single size that's listed as suitable for up to 80-gallon tanks, but that's not specific for turtle keeping. To see the full algae clearing effect, we suggest you use it in a 40-gallon tank max. If your primary issue is algae, but your tank is in GT 40 gallons, we suggest you opt for the Sunsun HW304 instead. Like the Sunsun, this filter specializes in fixing algae bloom and green water problems by using UV light to prevent the multiplication/spread of bacterial organisms. It does an incredible job of this, and you may well be surprised with just how quickly it fixes your water. In some cases, you can go from green to clear in under 24 hours. Still, the water inflow is located at the top of this filter, so it'll need to be almost entirely submerged under the water line. As aquatic turtles do better with low-level water, we suggest this a treatment filter for problem cases when you're starting to feel like nothing works, rather than as your daily primary use filter. Pro tip: while you do need round-the-clock filtration, don't assume you need to run the UV sterilizer 24/7 too. Instead, we suggest that you open the UV sterilizer for between 30–60 minutes per day. This helps clear the water while also maintaining a sufficient level of beneficial bacteria to support turtle health. The inclusion of UV bulbs adds an extra layer of maintenance to your regular routine, as you'll need to manually switch on the UV sterilizer each day. Still, it's generally simple to maintain, partially because it's much smaller than the larger canister-style devices we've reviewed. The supplied instructions are a little confusing, so just remember to remove the shock-proof sponge from inside the filter before you place it in the tank, or you'll risk causing damage. Otherwise, we consider this to be a high-quality build, and it comes with a backup UV bulb, which is a nice touch. Moving on to the next at number 7 with AquaClear. As this filter hangs from the top of the tank, it won't take up any tank space. Like internal filters or require external storage area space. Like canister filters. As such, it's our favorite choice for space saving. It's sold in different sizes, but only the 2050 gallon and 6110 gallon sizes are suitable for turtle tanks. In our experience, this is because the advertised GPH flow rate is inaccurate, and the smaller sizes simply won't turn over enough water to keep a messy turtle tank clean. For a hang-on filter, the overall filtration quality is impressive, but it pales in comparison to the canister filters we've reviewed, and there are better options if high-grade filtration is your primary concern. Still, this is the best hang-on style filter on the market, and if you find this filter style preferable for your setup, your money will be well spent here. Plus, it includes an adjustable flow rate dial so that you can find the perfect balance for handling the bioload and waste production of your specific tank. As the media space is much smaller than on large canisters like the Fluval FX6, it will require a more frequent cleaning schedule. But the smaller size also makes this cleaning easy to do. As such, we consider this to be an excellent option for beginner aquarists, especially those with small, hatchling turtles who don't yet require intensive filtration. The AquaClear is a well-made filter, but there are frequent reports of it suddenly not working. If you find this is the case, check the impeller. That's usually where the issue lies, and it can almost always be restarted with a little manual assistance. The number 8 position is held by Tetra internal power filter. There's no GPH listed, and only the 30/40 gallon sizes are suitable for turtle keeping. Even then, you should follow our Tuke's recommendation, i.e. 20 gallon max. Ultimately, this filter only suits tanks on the smaller end of the scale. But for the size, it's incredible value for money and the cheapest way to add effective filtration to your turtle tank. On first look, this would appear to be a standard internal style filter, but the motor's impeller is located at the bottom of the filter structure, so it will function in only 2 inches of water. This allows you to keep a shallow water level to suit your turtle. Similar to the Repto filter, it also comes with added chemical filtration via charcoal filter pads, which is a bonus, especially for the low price. This filter uses biobags, again like the Repto filter, which are excellent for odor control and help you make simple switch outs of filter media when required. It's easy to change out the filter's chemical pads too, but we expect you'll find deeper cleaning a little awkward. The pump doesn't come completely apart, so you'll need to exercise some patience when getting into the nooks and crannies. Next at number 9 we have Penn-Plaxx Cascade. The Penn-Plaxx Cascade comes in a single size, and we find the advertised GPH is a realistic indication of performance. That said, it's not specifically designed for turtles, so only consider this filter if you have a tank that holds 25 gallons or under. This is an internal filter with a twist. Quite literally, unlike the Coospider Sun and the Tetra internal, it doesn't require vertical positioning. In fact, you can set the filter horizontally and the spray bar will evenly distribute the water output across the entire length of your tank. As well as looking cool, you'll be able to keep the water line in your tank low, giving your turtle plenty of basking space. It also comes with vent aeration, which is essentially a built-in air bubbler. This and the Coospider are the only filters to offer this feature, and it'll save you some money if you were considering adding a bubbler to your setup for increased water oxygenation. The filter media pads can be switched out in seconds. This part is simple. The real problem here is how difficult it is to slide open the main compartment to access them. To do so, you need to press the tabs at each side simultaneously and very firmly. It'll take you some time to get the technique down, and even then it's far from easy. While difficult to open, the solid construction helps this filter remain sealed in all the right places, and it'll stay in good condition despite its need for constant submersion. The overall durability is let down somewhat by the suction cups, though. As with the Tetra internal, these suction cups loosen over time and will need resticking to the glass now and then. As a workaround, we find that positioning the filter horizontally across the bottom of the tank adds more pressure to the suction cups and makes them less likely to come unstuck. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by TetraFauna Viquarium 3-stage. This is a great 3-stage filtration system that is ideal for aquarium and terrarium combinations. It has the ability to filter the water in your tank for various animals such as fish, amphibians, and reptiles too. We like the fact that the TetraFauna Viquarium is a 3-stage filter. What this means is that it uses mechanical filtration to remove any floating waste and solid debris from the water. It uses a biological filter to break down ammonia, as well as a sponge with developed bacterial cultures to break down nitrite into nitrate. Finally, This filter also uses chemical filtration to further help break down solid waste, ammonia, and nitrites as well. This is one of the most comprehensive turtle tank filtration systems that you could go with. It is also quite convenient because the cartridges used can be easily replaced. Something else that makes this filter ideal for turtle tanks is that the pump is fully submersible. Therefore, you don't have to worry about submerging certain components and having them suffer damage. Moreover, this thing is ideal for tanks between 20 and 55 gallons in size, which means that it is a fairly efficient choice to go with. Plus, it can filter over 80 gallons per hour with ease. That's all for today. We upload pet product review videos every single day. So, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.